You're tuned in to the Kansas City Weather Report, your daily source for the latest local forecast right here in KC. Whether you're planning your commute, weekend barbecue, or just trying to figure out if you need that extra layer, Wes has you covered. So let's dive into today's forecast.
Welcome to the Kansas City Weather Report. I'm meteorologist Wes Berry. Today's Thursday, July 16th. Halfway through the month of July again. And here is what's up with the weather. Okay, so today you need to root for rain. We would like for it to rain for multiple reasons. Maybe we just don't want it to rain whenever you're driving home from work. Rain. Is it Jason Aldean? I don't really know country all that well. Rain is a good thing. It may help us out next week. Anyway, here's the weather. This morning, temperatures middle 70s, like 70 to 75 degrees out the door this morning. The humidity, I think, will be a little bit more noticeable today than what it's been the past. Well, every day, like the past 5 days overall. This afternoon, lunchtime temperatures will be getting near about 85, the heat index near 90. And then once we get to roughly, we'll say noon to 9 p.m., the chance for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms all over the place. Predicting where a thunderstorm is going to pop up in this environment is like throwing popcorn kernels on a hot skillet and then guessing which kernel is going to pop first. Now, you can get things to help those kernels to pop up a little sooner. Maybe you put some oil on there. That helps them pop up. We'll get some oil on the pan later on this afternoon. As gradually more thunderstorms try to develop, they could then shoot out some rain-cooled air, which act as like effective cold fronts. And then we just start like ping-ponging around with cold fronts and pop-up showers and thunderstorms. So as the heat of the day goes away, so will the chances of rain. Dinner time temperatures are still near about 85, and then we'll fall back into the lower to middle 70s by tomorrow morning. Not too concerned about these being severe, but what can inevitably happen is these things rain themselves out, if you will. And if there isn't a whole lot of movement, then as they start to collapse, they kind of just drop their precipitation load on one spot, and dropping that could result in some wind damage. It's a microburst is what that is. So that's at least something to be on the lookout for. Friday, the sun comes out, back up near 90. Saturday, Sunday, lower to middle 90s possible. And I keep on seeing weather models put out middle to upper 90s for Monday, and I just can't believe it. Like, I just cannot buy it right now. If you were listening, to the podcast on Monday, and Monday it was 98 degrees, I will happily admit that I was wrong. But I just don't buy that. It's too humid. And so when I started off this podcast and I was like, you need to root for rain. The more rainfall we get today, the less hot it can get in the subsequent days. Now, by the time we hit Monday, we may have dried ourselves out. Okay. So that's why I'm saying root for heavy rain that doesn't do any flooding. But roughly highs in the lower to middle 90s Saturday through Sunday. The heat index near 100, especially on Sunday and Monday. Maybe getting closer to 105 on Monday. It is really going to depend upon just what the rainfall situation is. The other thing to make this even more complicated is that there's a front nearby throughout the weekend. So like if, things change with the weather, obviously, but that front starts to get closer to us, that could shift our wind to out of the north, and then you're not getting 95 to 100 degrees. So there's a lot more things that are questionable about us getting in super hot that are working toward us. Okay, enough about the heat. Tuesday, Wednesday, a cold front's going to try to come through here, and they'll get a couple of rain chances in there for those days. But it looks like overall next week is highs, middle 80s. Roughly Wednesday through Friday, highs in the middle 80s, maybe lower 80s in there as well, as there seems to be a decent amount of cloud cover around on Thursday and Friday. The wind direction will try to become more southerly by Saturday, and so that may help push temperatures back into the upper 80s. But we're at least looking at a decent little cool period here for, much of next week, with maybe some more rainfall there on Tuesday or Wednesday. Pollen report. Pollen report. Did I not get it? Oh, I got it. Okay. Pollen report. Moderate grass. I just grass floating around. And low on the mold. Yeah. Good news on the pollen report there, everybody. Hope you're feeling great. Pressure impacts. It's just still a slow fall. Slow decline in pressure through that cold front around Monday and Tuesday, and it slowly recovers. Again, not the type of year in which we usually see significant drops or changes in pressure resulting in pain, which is great. All right, recapping the forecast. Good chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms developing this afternoon. Highs in the upper 80s, near 90 tomorrow, lower to middle 90s Saturday through Monday with the heat index near 100. But there also might be a pop-up shower and thunderstorm on Friday. I forgot to mention that. And I can't totally rule out something trying to pop up from roughly Friday through Monday. Tuesday back into the 80s, middle 80s Wednesday through Friday, with maybe getting back into the upper 80s for the following weekend. Thank you so much for joining me for this edition of the Kansas City Weather Report. You can find me on social media at Wes Weather. Stay cool. Have a good one.